Hey, I need you to just stop. Pause your gooning or sleeping. Just look at me for a second. We need to have a very real, very special conversation about the things we consume on the internet at 3 a.m. Because last night, I was just a regular guy. I was lying in bed, the room was dark, and I was scrolling. You know that feeling when your brain is fried and you're just looking something? I mean, who else but you? A little romance, a little slice of life. I see this cover, Sense of Amusement, sometimes translated as Plaything. Look at the title. Look at the girl on the cover in the little pleated skirt, giving that sweet, innocent smile. My human brain, programmed by years of anime, goes, oh, I get it. It's a slightly toxic, quirky, submissive, goth waifu story. Perfect. Let's read 5 chapters and go to sleep. Do you understand that I didn't sleep? Do you understand that I sat up in my bed, staring at my ceiling in complete silence, genuinely reevaluating my own moral compass? Because I didn't find a waifu, bro. I found a psychological horror documentary about the most calculated, poetic, and terrifying revenge ever put to paper. And we need to talk about the main character, Yoon Karma. See, in a normal high school revenge story, the bullied kid goes to the gym, learns martial arts, and comes back with a glow up. It's relatable. You root for them. But Yoon Karma is not a bullied kid. Yoon Karma is a decommissioned North Korean biological demon. I am not even lying. At 10 years old, her own father locks her ass in a chamber for 3 years. Experimental drugs, live surgeries without anesthesia. The trauma was so severe that her brain literally severed the neural pathways for pain, fear, and shame. But the stat buff she got? Bro, she got the dynamic vision of a hawk. She got the She-Hulk build without the ugly. Before she even crossed the border, this teenager caught 13 bodies and cleared out an entire military prison block with her bare hands. So I'm sitting there reading this, and my very normal thought process is, why is the Terminator taking a math test in a South Korean high school? How did she get here? Enter our peak billionaire vice chairman. This man had a middle school daughter named Hyena, and Hyena was getting severely bullied. Not normal bullying, Mexican cartel torture bullying. They stripped this innocent girl of her dignity. They put her on a literal dog leash, dragged her through the halls, and forcefully made her eat burning cigarettes and whatnot every day. The psychological damage was so severe, she just jumped one day. Now put yourself in the dad's shoes. You're a billionaire. What do? You hire the best lawyers on earth. You sue the school into dust. You put them behind bars. But no. Instead, this man goes on national television, looks directly into the camera lens with a straight face, and publicly announces, I forgive the bullies. Bro, he deserves an Oscar. He was lying through his teeth. He knew the justice is a joke, fair, 5 years in juvie wasn't going to fix the hole in his heart. So he goes to the shadows, legally adopts our North Korean Grim Reaper, and drops her right into the bullies' homeroom class. And this is where the manhwa starts to get peak. Because Karma doesn't just beat people up. She operates on the law of equivalent exchange, but she multiplies the karma by 1,000. She makes the punishment fit the exact crime. The dad tells her to lay low. Karma, like a rabid dog, bites on day 1. Target number 1, Song Eun Jin. What was Eun Jin's crime? She's the one who put Hyena on the dog leash. The one who took her dignity away in public. I can't tell because of guidelines, but man, send her to the Japanese in World War II. She doesn't just punch her, she strips Eun Jin of her human dignity. Karma snaps, treats her like an actual animal, same as she did with Hyena. The best part is coming. To avoid getting expelled by the corrupt school board, Karma calmly takes a lit cigarette and burns her own arm. She gives herself third-degree burns without blinking, just so she can legally claim self-defense. This girl is playing 5D chess with human anatomy. So Eun Jin runs crying to her big brother, Jin Woo. This is target number 2. What is his crime? Crimes against humanity, I'd say. Can't even say them here, but's related to constant eating of grapes with Hyena. He pulls up with his gang after school, thinking they're gonna jump the new girl. It's like watching a gazelle walk up to a lion. Karma manually spikes her adrenaline. She breaks his friend's limbs like dry spaghetti. And then, because she knows exactly what Jin Woo is, she takes away his weapon. Bro, I actually had to cross my legs reading this part. She literally crushes his testicles with her bare hands. She popped them like bubble wrap. You wanted to be a predator? Congratulations, you are now a eunuch. She erased his entire bloodline in the school courtyard. And the billionaire dad finishes the poetic justice. He intercepts the ambulance, straps Jin Woo to a hospital bed, and surgically removes whatever was left without anesthesia, piece by piece. I was sitting in my dark room, illuminated only by my monitor, taking deep breaths. I thought it couldn't get worse. But then we reached target 3, the final boss of season 1, the class president. This is the mastermind. What was her specific crime? She forced Hyena to swallow lit cigarettes, got her stomach cancer, and whatnot other much horrible shit. Karma decides that simply beating her up is an insult to her craft. You go, girl. First, the psychological warfare. Project NTR. She manipulates the president's boyfriend, exposes the president's violent history, and then completely steals him. She makes the president watch from the shadows as she kisses her man. Peak reaction, by the way. But the physical get back? It is the most diabolical, smug, achieving revenge I have ever read. Karma kidnaps the class president. She drags her into the empty gym. She forces an industrial plastic hose down her throat. and she empties 6 bottles of compressed dry seaweed into her stomach. Bro, do you understand the revenge? You made Hyena throw up 100 times. I'm going to make you throw up 300 times. Dry seaweed expands 20 times its size in liquid. She turned this girl's organs into a biological time bomb. The author literally provided the stats. The president vomited 382 times in 35 minutes. She threw up her childhood memories. She threw up her hopes and dreams. And how does it end? Later, Karma tracks this broken, hollow shell of a human to a cafe. She places a bowl of shaved ice in front of her, but the ice is made entirely out of crushed glass. True peak. Karma leans in and whispers, "Eat the glass, or I upload the video of you confessing to everything." The president eats the glass. She bleeds out right there at the table. Bro, I closed my laptop. I sat in the silence of my room and just listened to the hum of my AC unit. It was over. But my revenge for hunger was not. I let out a sigh, but then my hand instinctively reached for the mouse. I clicked on the next chapter. Because as I stared at the screen, a terrifying realization washed over me. My moral compass had twisted already. I wanted the worst upon these demons, and I wanted to savor their suffering same as her. I cannot wait to see how the other 3 main victims that bullied the angel finally get taken care of. But overall, really recommended to read it, especially if you're hungry for something special. And trust me, it was 100 times worse than whatever I told you here in the actual manhwa. Good luck. 100 likes for part 2.